The story of King Midas is one of the most famous and enduring myths from ancient Greece, often associated with his golden touch. However, there are untold facets of his life and myth that are less commonly discussed, shedding light on his character, motivations, and legacy. King Midas was the ruler of Phrygia, an ancient kingdom in what is now modern-day Turkey. He was the son of the nymph Sanguine and King Gordius. His story is closely linked to his family, his wealth, and his desire for power. He became famous not just for his wish for wealth but for the way his character and decisions shaped his fate. The most well-known part of King Midas's story is his wish granted by Dionysus, the god of wine, after Midas showed kindness to Silenus, a follower of Dionysus. Silenus had wandered into Midas's kingdom, and Midas gave him shelter. In gratitude, Dionysus granted Midas a wish, and Midas asked for the ability to turn everything he touched into gold. At first Midas was overjoyed by this newfound power. However, the blessing quickly became a curse. He turned everything he touched into gold, including food, water, and even his beloved daughter, whom he embraced in his greed. In despair, Midas begged Dionysus to take away the gift. Dionysus told him to bathe in the river Pactolus, which would cleanse him of the curse. After doing so, the river's sands turned to gold, and Midas was freed from the golden touch. Midas's encounter with the gods. While the story of Midas is usually framed around his greed, another untold story revolves around his interactions with the gods. He is not only a cautionary figure but also someone who reflects the complex nature of divine favor. The gods seem to both reward and punish him, revealing a tension in the myth between fate, hubris, and divine will. The Midas and Apollo contest. One of the lesser-known stories is Midas's involvement in a musical contest between the god Apollo and the satyr Marsyas. Apollo, a skilled musician, was having a competition with Marsyas, and Midas was one of the judges. When Midas sided with Marsyas, Apollo became enraged and punished Midas by giving him the ears of a donkey. The king tried to hide his donkey ears with a crown, but his barber eventually revealed his secret by whispering it into a hole in the ground. Midas and his daughter. In some versions of the myth, Midas's daughter, whom he turned to gold, plays a more tragic role. While it is generally said that Midas had a deep bond with his daughter, some lesser-known versions of the myth indicate that his relationship with her was strained by his obsession with wealth. The tragedy of turning her into gold symbolizes the danger of material obsession and the loss of personal connections. While the myth largely focuses on his greed, later stories paint a different picture of Midas. After the golden touch, he became a wiser and more reflective king. He retreated from his former life of excess and embraced humility. In some versions of the myth, Midas is remembered not just as a foolish king, but as one who learns from his mistakes and seeks redemption. This period of reflection suggests that the story of King Midas is not just about punishment but about growth and the possibility of redemption. In modern times, Midas is often remembered as a symbol of unchecked greed. However, his story also reflects deeper themes such as the value of true wealth, the dangers of desire, and the fleeting nature of material gain. The transformation of Midas from a greedy king to a wiser, more contemplative ruler offers an untold dimension to his character that is often overshadowed by the more dramatic elements of his myth.